how do you get your knowledge? Do you enjoy listening to other thought leaders in their areas and being open to their opinions, or do you prefer to be closed-minded and be like, this is the way that we work within IronMarket, and yes, we don't say pick individual stocks, but it keeps it a bit more closed-minded, so I can be a bit, not dictatorial, but a bit like, oh, I'm not going to get influence, because sometimes people take influence. It's not good for some people.
What are your trusted methods?
Yeah, no, I think so.
But it's personal. That's what
it's a really great question, because
there's
there
too
is
much
so
information.
much. There is so much,
and we love podcasts as well. We love listening to other podcasts.
I suppose the primary thing I would say is I am obsessed. I love this thing, love it. But even if I didn't, there is such a wide range of information sources, and it does take a bit of experience to know what is a good source and a bad source.
Yeah.
And there is an old phrase, and I probably shouldn't.
That's scary, you even saying that. It takes a lot of experience to actually realise what's good and what's a bad source.
It does.
People love clickbait now. We know in our industry, people make money through media, through bad information, because they know there's going to get more clicks on a negative story than a positive story.
And that's one thing that I just want to say now.
Sorry, but it's true.
I'm going to say this out loud. Look, like FINT, I want that to be a safe space for people to come and actually know that it is safe knowledge.
Exactly.
It's real knowledge, and it's learning stuff. It isn't fake stuff.
And we want to educate and help. It helps. The more that people know, I've loved it since I've been doing this job. You know, being in wealth and being a financial advisor is it with each interaction, with each meeting, is the person opposite me or next to me knows more.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what detail, but if each time they know more, we're doing a great job. Yeah. And that's what we want to do on a larger scale and a quicker cadence with FINT. But back to the kind of the sources, there are so many, and it's very easy to get distracted. And there is an old saying that if one analyst is telling you it's raining and the other analyst is telling you that it's sunny, take a look out the effing window. So that actually answers your question a little bit.
I thought you were going to give us something real good there, Wednesday. That was brilliant. Just take a look out the effing window.
I was looking at you like, where's
this going?
Where's this going? I'm just waiting for some like Buddhist monk.
So true, though. It's so true.
Exactly.
It really is sometimes.
And so the answer is, I am not closed. I take a lot of, we have really trusted economists.
So you're looking out the window.
Yeah, we have really trusted economists and analysts that we work with on a regular daily basis. And their sources information, their data points, and their papers are phenomenal in driving an understanding of what's going on. Yeah. But it's always up to me to take a look out the window and see what the weather actually is.
Okay, I know I said this would have been the end, but you just given yourself, love the analogy, cracked us up, because I don't know where we're going. But is there a moment within IronMarket the past 10 years with your trading that you've been like, I need to look out the window today? Like, because there's so much information.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
There's one moment that I'm definitely thinking, but I'd like to hear from you first.
I think like really recent examples in going through December last year into January this year, and looking to set our strategies up both across FINT and IronMarket for 2024. There's a lot going on, and potentially a huge amount going on into 2024.
Yeah.
And you always want to put, I'm obsessed with this, but I'm also equally obsessed with getting the right outcomes for the investors at the end. Yeah. And that in a decision conflict is always a challenge. So the bit of looking out the window I did was actually, I think what I might do is just take my umbrella with me. Yeah. And so what I decided to do was not do anything, and was to wait and let the information and the data, let it feed through, and let's see actually what the weather is before I decide to put my coat on or put my shorts on.
Yeah. Okay, my point was going to be, which probably doesn't affect the market so much on a wider range, but it kind of did, Brexit.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's
a blast from the past.
You're like, well, which way is it going to go? How is it going to affect the market? Was it going to be good? But obviously on a wider American market, to the S&P 500, to FTSE 100, slightly different impacts. Of course. But I was kind of thinking like that moment, the North thought one thing, the South thought another thing.
Yeah,
and then we still didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a really interesting time because obviously I'm from the north, but I spent a lot of time in the south, and understanding and really kind of seeing what a bubble it can be down there, particularly in London.
Very much
what
so,
a bubble it can be, and not to a person I was talking to during that time when it was getting closer to the vote. You know, I was in asset management groups, research groups, technology providers, all different kinds of linked to what we do, and to a person they were all no, of course we won't vote to leave, that's an idiotic thing. And I was saying, if you get yourself north of Watford, you will find that people are very passionate about this, and they will take action. And what you've got down there is a more passive kind of tolerant kind of society, and probably less inclined to go and do something, frankly. Whereas, you know, further north, they may have the wrong impression what Brexit is. But that doesn't matter.
Sold something different.
That doesn't matter. If they've got a feeling and they can go and take action and do something about it, they will. So my thought was, and I've got it written down so I can prove it, that we would vote to leave. Now, it was ridiculously close in the end, but I always thought that would be the vote. And again, knowing our members as I do, and I know kind of how the retail investor thinks, that they would prefer to miss out on a temporary drop than miss out on a lift if we voted to remain, and which is how I thought it would impact the markets, even if it be temporary. So that's the one and only time I did make the decision just to go to cash short term. So I actually took a discretionary decision, and prior to the Brexit vote, I put everyone in cash during the vote. Markets fell about 5 or 6%. Popped everybody back in, markets recovered. That's the only time I've ever been really active.
When you say you put everyone into cash, what do you actually mean? Do you just
taking everybody's money,
you've literally pulled
out of
everything
market.
out.
Disinvested everyone. It's the only time I've ever
So
done
when
it.
you did that, and you obviously did it,
That's a big move.
how much money are you taking out in cash there? All of the clients' money, the whole of IronMarket?
Pretty much
all of
Iron
it.
Market wealth and just
I told everyone I was doing it before I did it. But also, if you've got discretion and you know, it's all about the right outcome.
But as well, we
for the
put our
person,
money
for the
with
family,
you because we trust you as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you believe that's the right decision, we trust.
And that trust
that's
thing,
the right
that
decision.
trust is so important, and it's the biggest thing that the biggest part of what we do. And don't take it. I take it so seriously, and it's that bit, the trust bit, that how is this going to impact the families and the people? I know them. I know these people. We all do, you know, collectively, and we know how it would impact them. So that was the kind of decision. Let's say the only one time I did it, and with that, unlike, you know, there's a lot of things you can't predict.
It's like quite a scary thing to do. That
very,
like pulling everything out. So I was gonna say.
So you need a level of confidence in your decision. But again,
but you made a decision. Like, what's the worst that can happen? In reality,
on balance, absolutely.
The worst that can happen in reality is it goes up a couple of percent,
and they missed out,
a couple percent up.
And that's not a great outcome.
But not a great outcome.
On balance.
But it's more like to go, if it goes the other way,
absolutely,
it's definitely not going up.
And it was very UK focused, that kind of thing, wasn't it? Let's face it. So,
but it's still, because I was in Boston at this time in America, and they closed the stock market, didn't they?
Right, okay.
In America, waiting to see what happened for UK Brexit.
Wow, okay.
And that affected the market. Because I was there, and all the Americans asked me, what would you do? And I think we're going to leave, because I'm up north listening to what the farmers are saying and what's being put on the side of the buzz with the NHS.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they all got on their phones and were kind of like talking to their sort of stock people, like, please monitor this, because the UK is a very strong hub for international trade, isn't it?
Absolutely. Nothing gets the human condition, particularly the British, to do something more than anger.
Oh, amen.
Isn't that true?
It's so true.
You can be the happiest person in the world. That's not going to make you do stuff.
If you're the British off, and that's
exactly. Yes, that will make me press.
Dry humour, but
that will make me press the button. Exactly. And
okay.